Big Country 99.5, Tulsa's only classic country station. So terrific having you along here on our Morning Country and Coffee. For you just joiners, this is not your usual morning show. Well, first of all, we play the best country music on your radio dial. Secondly, we always have some interesting people here, including me. No, I'm just kidding. Jim Jefferies, welcoming in the studio with me. He's been in the studio with me this morning, enjoying the Campfire brand coffee, and we've been enjoying talking about his book. And you're a first-time author, aren't you?
First time. This is my debut novel.
What motivated you to become an author?
This is something I've always wanted to do. It's actually been in my mind for quite a few, over 10 years. Of course, being an avid hunter, became very enamored with techniques of hunting, the equipment that's used today.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Well, you know, what's going on today in the hunting environment compared to my dad's generation, for example.
Right.
And I thought that was something worth
all
writing.
The technical stuff going on.
Yeah, all the technical stuff, the technology, the weaponry, the clothing,
Mm-hmm.
The techniques, and so on and so forth. The whole attitude about hunting has changed from subsistence hunting to really trophy hunting, kind of focusing in that area. But there are still a few folks out there that, you know, they want to hunt because they want venison. The main character in my book, Mitchell Granger, he's a meat hunter.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't care about putting antlers on the wall. He likes eating venison, and that's what he goes after. But the whole idea of writing about the differences in culture between my dad's generation and my generation really kind of interested me. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that wasn't very interesting. And I'm an avid reader. I love novels, and I like novels the way I like movies. When I come out of the theater, I want to feel good about the show.
Yeah,
you know, the good guy versus bad guy, the hero wins. And so I started thinking about the books more in terms of a novel.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, if I'm going to write a novel, I need a plot, I need a story. So I started thinking about what that might be, and eventually I came to this, where you've got good guys and bad guys. The hero gets the girl, and in the end, the world is set right.
Well, and what's neat about this book is you know, actually this personally, I can see this as a movie.
Well, my wife would be delighted.
Well, no, after reading it, and you know, the book again is The Killers in Gilbourne County, author Michael E. Newell. And you're local here in Tulsa?
Yes, I've been living in Tulsa since about '89.
Yeah, and but after reading this book, it's just amazing. I see this on the movie screen.
It has some real potential.
It does.
And again,
especially for this killer deer.
Well, yeah, and again, I wanted to keep it out of the realm of science fiction and more into, you know, what could possibly happen. And again, I just want to say that, you know, deer farming is just a magnificent enterprise. There are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of deer farms across the country. There are plenty right here in Oklahoma, and they are breeding legitimately some terrific animals that trophy animals that people would not be able to get.
But the bad guy
lands.
in this book is not breeding legitimate animals.
No, he's not. He's unscrupulous. In fact, even as in that particular character, Charles Angelrod really gets bounced out of his own company because he's really in charge of developing markets in third world countries, and you know, a lot of product ends up in those countries that just aren't viable anywhere else.
Well, sure,
because they can put them out there, and of course they gouge prices, and that more or less gets uncovered, and he gets discredited, you know, and of course he's got this huge hunting reserve, and of course he uses that primarily to entertain, you know, folks from the FDA, for example, to come out and hunt on his lands, and of course this is where he pushes the schmooze on them.
Yeah.
He comes up with the idea. I don't really articulate it, but I imply it. He comes up with the idea to make it a public reserve where you can apply to go and hunt there, but he uses that deer farming operation as a cover for something else that he's doing, which is illicit drug manufacturing. Of course, he's got
another layer of the book.
Another layer of the book. And he's got the ways and the means. He's even got his own private airstrip. Of course, he's got all kinds of contacts in the pipeline for supplies. He can build a lab. He can have all the equipment. So on that side of it, we're dealing with a pretty ornery fella here. And eventually, our Mitch Granger, you know, stumbles into all this, and it all comes out in the wash.
Well, I'm sure folks would get any type of fiction reader would really enjoy this book. It's called The Killers in Gilbourne County, written by a local author here, Michael E. Newell. Now, you say you're going to be having a book signing at Steve's Sundry here in March?
I sure am, and that's March 16th.
Okay.
They do their book signings on Saturdays. And
what time?
1 to 3.
Okay, so you can come over there. People can come over there and meet you, purchase your books, and get it signed.
Yes.
And it's a fascinating book. Like I say, if you want to wait until the book signing to get it at Steve's Sundry on Saturday, March 16th, you can do that, or you can go online to any of the online bookstores and get it. Killers in Gilbourne County. Michael, we appreciate you stopping by our studios this morning, bud.
Well, it's just been a pleasure to be here, Jim, and thanks for asking me on.
And I just hope to meet that killer deer someday.
Well, I hope you don't.
I mean, from a distance, Michael. A great book. You go out and buy it.